Hello everyone! I am Yuji Naka, the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog and Balan Wonder World. You are listening to 4 Males, Sonic and Tails, where our 4 beautiful men do nothing but read Sonic fan fiction every week. Will they stay strong, or will they lose their minds? You'll have to listen to find out. これはただの冗談で、私は中裕二さんではないですが。And remember, いつも早く進むように。And keep sweat dropping.
You are listening to 4 Males, Sonic and Tails. I'm Zach, and I like Sonic.
I'm Luke, and last night when I was sleeping, an incorporeal hedgehog visited my bedside and laid a curse on me.
Ooh, I'm Eric.
Wow.
And I like Knuckles.
Okay.
I'm Daniel. I like all the characters. I'm sad to see them murdered in the stories we're about to read.
Oh yeah. Well,
Do you really like Knuckles?
do I like Knuckles?
Yeah, you said you liked Knuckles.
Yeah, dude. Knuckles is the shit. He's pretty cool. I guess
like a
in
bad
the
boy,
not
I
in the
guess.
fan fiction world, because every fan
He's
fiction,
like a sexual predator.
yeah, in every fan fiction we've read, he's like a predator. But canon Knuckles is all right, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't endorse fan fiction Knuckles predation. Just a little disclaimer there.
Eric has taken a really bold move here and picked an epic length fanfiction for us to read.
It is chunky. It looks like.
I mean, if it gets too fucking boring, we can just bail out. Is my thought on it, because if it's gonna be like weird where it's just going on like that for chapters and chapters, I'm not gonna make us drag it out over like 10 episodes or something.
No, we have to do it, Eric. We have to.
You've chosen this for us, Eric. Like we can't stop reading the fan fiction unless there's like slurs in it or something. Like this is the punishment that you've given to us, Eric. Why have you done this? We might not even finish this. Like we might be finishing this after Halloween.
This might be a 3-parter. Yeah.
It's only showing us 3 chapters for me.
Yeah,
Dude,
but look how long they
Yeah,
are.
but look at how long your chapters are.
These are like 2 or 3 page
Oh yeah,
chapters.
Okay, I see.
Oh my good lord,
we're at a
Eric.
fat 16,808
Oh,
word
oh
count.
my god, dude.
Beautiful small essay. To be fair, this is the like middle length work of art of our author. They have written 5 fan fiction all about Sonic. 2 of them are even longer than this. One of them even up to 36,000 word count. So they might actually be good at writing long fan fictions. I'm just throwing that out there.
Let's see how it is. Let's get this show on the road. Eric, I believe you should read first.
Okay.
After doling out this punishment to us.
All right, I'll start reading when I've got a lot of energy. Let's see here. So we have an author's note at the beginning here. Oh, I should probably go over the title. So this is Knuckles Halloween by Tia Cat 11. When Knuckles gets roped into chaperoning Amy and Cream trick-or-treating, the most he hopes for is a quiet, uneventful night. But as Sonic is out to prove there's no such thing as a non-scary Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Sonic is the serial killer hiding in the bushes in this story.
Yeah, so the tables are turned. You know, Sonic is usually
Knuckles
the good
is
guy,
the
and Knuckles.
victim.
Yeah, exactly. Knuckles is not the predator in this one, apparently. Well,
He is also chaperoning for 2 young girls. I wouldn't put it past him just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in the clear yet. So here's the note at the beginning. It says, from the author, it says, Okay, calm down, everybody. Just relax. And you, Game Lover X, yes, you, second row, third from the left, put the pitchfork down. I know I kind of abandoned fan fiction net lately. I know you all probably thought I died or something. I know you very badly want to see Chapter 4 of The Legend of Nazo, and I promise, after however many years of abandonment, I have picked it up again and started working on it. I won't bore you with the details, but short story is my computer died, taking everything I had on the fiction with it, and I threw my hands up and yelled, "Screw it!" But I'm here right now. I'm trying to get back into writing. I set a schedule for myself. Chapter 4 is 65% done, and I have this neat little story lined up for Halloween. So instead of muddling in the past, let's look to the future. And if this is the first story you've ever read from me, welcome. You have absolutely no idea what the heck I'm talking about. So, about this story, it's just a cute, stupid little Halloween story. Like an episode from a cartoon. It popped into my head one night and I rolled with it. This is part 1 of 2, and if everything goes according to plan, as if, expect part 2 on or before Halloween. But seeing as it has yet to be written, you can still offer advice, criticism, suggestions, etc., and I will be thrilled to read them all. Good, bad, best line, worst line. I'd love to hear what you think, but you have to read it, so I'll shut up. Thank you.
Wow, that is such a long.
We have to read it.
That is such a long author's note.
That's
at
the
beginning.
longest
What the
author's
fuck?
note we've had in a story.
Person loves writing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. This author is going to torture us.
So that was just the appetizer. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Knuckles couldn't help but think that all of the ridiculous and trivial holidays the surface dwellers of Mobius celebrated, Halloween has got to earn the prize. No other tradition was so stupid, so ridiculous, as to be based entirely off scaring one another. Knuckles honestly wondered who on Mobius would have come up with such an idiotic idea as this, and finally came to the conclusion they must have been college frat boys. No other theory fit. Under most circumstances, he would have been happily on Angel Island by now, sleeping the night away, but sadly, these were not most circumstances. He had tried to explain to Vanilla all the reasons why he hated this holiday, but she would have none of it. He would take Cream and Amy trick-or-treating, and that was that. Why does he have to take them trick-or-treating?
Because
There
he
needs to be
has
a male
to.
chaperone.
I'm getting like some kind of vibe here that maybe Cream and Amy are supposed to be like teenagers and Knuckles is an adult.
He's like their dad or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, God.
Their sugar daddy.
God.
Yeah, it's their sugar daddy.
Get it? Because he's
Horrifying.
taking them trick or treating.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. But why can't they go on their own? He had demanded. The mother had looked shocked. 2 young girls out at night? Alone? On Halloween? I wouldn't dream of it. Why not the Chaotix then? He had half pleaded, growing desperate. Well, Espio plans on taking Charmy trick-or-treating, so you may run into him. Knuckles paled considerably at the thought of Charmy on sugar. Oof. And Vector apparently had some extremely important business to take care of tonight, so he can't do it. Besides, it will do you some good, Knuckles. I worry about you. Up there all alone. And with that, it had been decided that he would be the one to take Amy and Cream trick-or-treating. It was not until a good 8 hours later, when he was brooding alone on the island, did it occur to him he probably should have pointed out to the older woman that her daughter had faced Dr. Eggman alone plenty of times throughout the years and gotten away with it without a scratch, to say nothing of her best friend's magical hammers. That was a long-ass sentence.
I like how you just had to start screaming it by the end to keep going.
I was like running out of breath. Hindsight is indeed always 2020. And so he found himself dragging his feet through the piles of dried leaves that somehow managed to find their way onto the sidewalk, no matter how many times they were raked, dreading the moment when he would reach the rabbit's doorstep. Soon enough, he reached the porch and reached out to hit the doorbell. Mrs. Rabbit had kindly requested he refrain from knocking after the third or fourth door was lost. What?
He's too powerful. He kept
Yeah.
breaking their door when he knocked on it.
Oh my god! You need to invest in like a better door if your door is getting broken that much just from knocking.
Nah, freaking Knuckles is too powerful, man.
Yeah, that's true. He does have those claws and those Lego shoes, so he's definitely out of the ordinary.
The Lego shoes are definitely what are the source of his power.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The elegant chime that played was closely followed by a not so elegant shriek of childish joy. Vanilla opened the door, and with that, I am going to pass it off to Luke.
Oh, good, Knuckles, you're here, she greeted. Amy's just finishing up with her makeup, and Cream is waiting in the foyer. You can come in and have some Halloween cookies if you like. Thanks, I guess, he mumbled back, stepping into the foyer. Normal houses tended to weird him out, and the rabbits even more so. What was it about the entire house that made it seem so posh? He guessed the plush carpets and soft couches were supposed to make guests feel welcome, but it simply made him even less at ease, and so sat only on the very edge of the sofa. Vanilla had disappeared in search of the refreshments, and Knuckles was too focused on being indoors to notice the soft footsteps on the carpet behind him until it was too late. With a sudden shriek, the only daughter of Vanilla Rabbit grabbed the echidna from behind, sending him whirling around, eyes wide and fists raised, before catching sight of the rabbit and stumbling backwards into the coffee table in an attempt to avoid taking the young girl's head off.
Jesus Christ.
Knuckles trying to resist those violent tendencies.
Yeah, I'm getting a very in remission Knuckles fight here.
This is Knuckles after anger management, but
He's like Jack from The Shining or something. He's
Yeah.
just like trying his hardest to not abuse everybody around him.
Cream, oblivious to the danger she was just in, giggled. Trick or treat, Mr. Knuckles, I got you. Knuckles quickly...
Poor Cream. That's kind of a dark line if you think about it. Oblivious to the danger she was just in.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the author's trying to portray it that it was like totally an accident on Knuckles' part, but
Yeah.
it does make it sound like he almost just murdered her in a rage or something.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
Knuckles quickly reorganized his face to hide any remaining traces of shock, assuming an annoyed expression instead. You definitely did not get me. Getting me implies that you did something scary. All you did was sneak up behind me. To his annoyance, it just made her grin wider. But you were still scared. I was startled, not scared, he corrected quickly. Sure you were, she responded politely, but without losing her little smirk, Knuckles was sure he had learned from Sonic. And they say you're the innocent one, he muttered under his breath. At that moment, Vanilla returned from the kitchen and set down a plate of sugar cookies cut into various Halloween-y shapes. Oh, Mr. Knuckles, try that one, Cream said, previous argument forgotten. I frosted that one. Knuckles picked it up, trying to figure out what exactly it was. It really just looked like an orange blob with some black blobs smeared around it. It's a jack-o'-lantern, see? Yes, of course, Knuckles replied, still unable to see anything in the clump of frosting. Try it, she encouraged. It's good. Reluctantly, he popped the confection into his mouth. The entire thing was made almost entirely of a sugar, which was still fairly new for him, but it wasn't too bad. He turned to her, noticing the look of expectation in her face. It's good, Cream. Very, sweet.
I'm confused about what Knuckles' relationship with Vanilla is, because Vanilla is Cream's mother.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I've never heard of her.
Oh,
I think-
yeah.
I think they're just friends, which is why she asked him to do that. Take them out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You think Knuckles is Cream's mom?
It could be. There could be an ulterior
Maybe.
motive here.
There always is with Knuckles.
Yeah, exactly.
At this, she broke into a smile. Yay, and just wait until the candy starts. Trust me, it'll be awesome. Vanilla poked her head around the door. After you inspect them all, of course. Cream's expression fell as her ears drooped. Aw, but Mom, she complained. She shook her head. I don't care, young lady. You hear all these horror stories around this time about just what sick people will do to unsuspecting children. Knuckles' brow furrowed in confusion. I thought that was the point of Halloween, to tell scary stories to one another.
He's subtly trying to justify like predation on children.
Knuckles is the one putting razor blades in kids' candy.
Yeah.
For a minute, Vanilla actually looked puzzled. Well, that's not what Halloween is all about, Cream broke in. Knuckles turned to her. Well, what is it then? I don't know, she mumbled, pulling out at the hem of her pink sequin dress. The costumes, I guess? Getting to be someone else for a night is a big part of it, Vanilla agreed. That reminds me, what are you even supposed to be anyway? Knuckles asked, gesturing to the girl's pink and white layered dress. Hardly functional in his opinion. Could barely even move in that thing, let alone fight. Cream's chest puffed up with pride. I'm a fairy princess, and Cheese is gonna bring me my crown. At that moment, Amy entered the room and Knuckles turned to look at her. Cream squealed. Miss Amy, you look great. From her place at the top of the stairs, the hedgehog twirled, showing off her whole costume in detail. The costume was definitely different from Cream's. There was hardly any frills or lace, and in fact, the whole dress, despite reaching down to her ankles where it shredded into rags, actually looked more combat-ready than her usual outfit. The dress wasn't the only change, though. Her entire makeup was altered, making her skin pale and giving her eyes a sunken look. At first, Knuckles thought she had just gone crazy with the lipstick, but then he realized there was fake blood splashed across her muzzle and dripping onto her throat. Well, she asked expectantly, think I make a convincing queen of the night? Knuckles just tilted his head to the side, confused, but Cream burst into applause. Apparently satisfied, Amy popped down the stairs and grabbed a cookie shaped like a ghost. So are we ready to go? She asked. Something white whizzed past Knuckles' ear suddenly, and he jerked back in reflex, holding one mitt up to defend himself with, before the white object settled on Cream's head. Thank you, Cheese, the rabbit cooed sweetly. A plastic tiara with large fake gemstones now adorned her head, completing her fairy princess outfit. The white object, which Knuckles now identified as Cheese, was wrapped up in what looked like a small white sheet, making him look like a ghost, which he supposed was the idea.
Who the fuck is Cheese?
Is that?
I was just looking it up. It is a Chow
Yeah.
pet of Cream.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Oh.
It's like I don't recognize that character.
The second Amy turned towards him with an evil look on her face, Knuckles knew he was in for it. Are you sure you want to come with us, Knuckles? There's some horrible plastic spiders down the way in Johansson's front yard. We wouldn't want you to get scared. Knuckles scowled again. I was not scared. I was startled. Sure you were, the girls answered teasingly at the exact same time. Knuckles just sighed. It was going to be a long night. And
I told you, he's the depressed dad.
he has PTSD too. He's like jumping at everything and flying into like his fight or flight
That's
keeps
true.
getting triggered. I am going to pass it off to Zach.
Oh, thanks, man. I can't wait to read this really entertaining fan fiction.
Have fun.
Chaperoning a group of girls trick-or-treating, as Knuckles found out, really wasn't all that bad or even difficult. The entire job largely consisted of him walking the girls from house to house and waiting at the edge of the driveway while they walked up to the door and did their thing. Occasionally, he had to stop to help one of them with a costume malfunction. As he was holding... By that, I mean, like... By that, I mean... What kind of costume malfunction is he talking?
Yeah.
He looks
Slip.
refuses to put his hands on them.
That's what I was just thinking. I'm like, that sounds potentially inappropriate.
Oddly worded. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was holding Cheese's bag ever since it got too heavy for the tiny Chow, about 5 houses in. For the most part, it required little to no effort on the echidna's part, and Knuckles was always was almost enjoying himself. Hi, Knuckles, piped an irritatingly familiar voice behind him. Keyword almost. Knuckles turned to face Tails, eyeing him up and down. What are you supposed to be? The tips of his ears, tails, and hands were now dyed black, and there was a third fake tail attached to him. I'm a Keaton, the young fox explained. Knuckles furrowed his brow. You're a what? He said. A Keaton. It's a mythical creature, sorta, like a... He began, but was cut off by Cream.
Well, I wanted to hear what a Keaton is. The fuck is a Keaton?
Let's Google
All I
it.
know of Keaton is
Keaton.
there's a douchey kid I went to elementary school with named Keaton.
I'm thinking of Michael Keaton.
I think they spelt it wrong. I don't think there's an A there. Because there's the Keaton masks in like Legend of Zelda and stuff that are rather popular.
Mr. Tails, I didn't expect to see you here, she said, rushing up to offer him a hug. Yeah, Tails, where did you come from? Amy grinned before her innocent curiosity became just a touch too nonchalant. And where's Sonic? Oh, I'm around, said a voice from right behind him, causing Knuckles once again to leap backwards and try to punch whatever spook was there. He's on edge.
He's got a sensitive trigger finger.
He does. He's this close to snapping. This time, however, it was only the said spook's quick reflexes that saved him from immediate decapitation.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Knuckles is not a safe person to have in the room.
Jesus.
Knuckles needs to be locked up, dude.
I like how Knuckles is being sent to like supervise these children while trick or treating, but like he's like the biggest source of danger.
Knuckles is always
For real.
Knuckles is always a f***ing freak, dude.
Seriously.
So jumpy. Sonic the Hedgehog chided, wagging his finger at Knuckles. What's the matter? Did I startle you? I wasn't startled. I was scared. I mean, stop it. Stop laughing. The Crimson Echidna, who seemed a little more crimson than before, ground his teeth together. For the last time, making a person jump a couple of times isn't scary. Somehow, through his intense laughing fit, Sonic managed to shaky. Of course not, Knuckster. Totally different. Yeah, absolutely, Amy agreed, doubled over. We believe you, Mr. Knuckles, giggled Cream, a hand held over her mouth as though that would somehow make things better. Grumbling, Knuckles readjusted Cheese's candy bag while Sonic got up on the particulars of each person's costume. Alright, I know what you are, Tails, but Cream... Let's see... A princess? Cream smiled and turned around so he could see the glittery wings attached to the back of the dress. Ah, a fairy princess. Excuse me. And here, he continued, turning to Amy, we have, the female hissed, revealing the fake fangs underneath her lips. Sonic faked a shudder. Ah, please don't bite me. Wow, that's a throwback to the last episode.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Amy smiled, turning the look a bit more friendly. I like yours too, Sonic. It's simplistic, but still frightening. The blue hedgehog was wearing little more than he usually wore. His white gloves were still with him, but his normal red and white running shoes had been abandoned in the name of something a little more low-key. Instead, the main component of his costume was a black cloak that encompassed his entire body and even dragged a little. Despite the fact that he had been clearly running around in it all night, it showed little signs of wear and dirt. He also carried in his hand what looked to Knuckles a curved blade on a wooden post.
On a wooden post?
I think it's
Like
supposed
a
to be
wooden
like a
handle?
scythe. Like a
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. Sonic smiled and bowed. He's the Grim Reaper,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
This is thrilling stuff, dude. Sonic smiled and bowed. Subtlety is the name of the game, Amy. The best horror shows don't need a ton of fake gore or violence to freak you out. Knuckles snorted. In all his life since meeting the little speed demon, he had never known him to be subtle. Sonic interrupted mid-boast, turned to the echidna. Something funny to you, Knux? Knuckles would have let him have it ordinarily, but something else caught his eye that made his original insult irrelevant. The clasp around Sonic's neck, pinning the cloak to him. Is that a Chaos Emerald? And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Daniel.
Oh boy, thank you. What? This? Sonic asked, holding the gem in question. Yeah, it originally had a fake jewel in it, but to me it looked kind of tacky. But then I realized, hey, a Chaos Emerald fits perfectly in here, I bet. So then I pried out the other gem, and the rest of the story was cut off by Knuckles. You used a freaking Chaos Emerald as part of your stupid costume? Sonic looked hurt. Of course not. Knuckles ground his teeth together, a habit that Sonic really thought he would need to see a dentist about later down the road. What for then, he managed. Sonic rolled his eyes. For pulling off the best Halloween pranks ever, of course. Watch. And before Knuckles could put into action any of the fantasies of violence currently running through his mind, oh my god, by the way, Sonic grabbed the glass and teleported a ways away.
Yep. Fantasies of violence.
So apparently he's going to need to see both a dentist and a therapist.
For real.
Similar to Knuckles, you know, this fan fiction is giving me fantasies of violence.
Yeah.
Fantasies of violence on Eric for subjecting us to this.
Eric followed the rules, man. He just wanted to punish us. I can't fault him for that. But
It's
goddamn,
it's a beautiful elegance to the torture he's brought to us.
I wasn't expecting it, you know. I thought he was gonna go with something short, and I gotta say, Eric, you did serve up a good Halloween nightmare.
Yeah,
it's
not in the way the story was intended, but I gotta throw a curveball every once in a while.
I love it. Once he was certain he had the whole group's attention, he teleported further away, where a group of tween girls. Tween is a gross word, just all around.
It really is.
God.
I don't trust any of these characters around children.
No, yeah, teleporting up to them is this is gonna be bad, I feel. The group of girls were crossing the street, appearing just behind them. He hovered for just a moment to pull up his hood, obscuring his face in shadow. Then in a surprisingly deep voice that carried over to where the rest of the team was, he greeted them. Sure enough, the girls in question, a witch pop star, lunch lady, zombie cheerleader, and a maid, all screamed loudly and scattered in all directions, leaving Sonic to disappear. He reappeared behind the group, laughing maniacally. Oh man, did you see their faces? He asked gleefully. That's what you've been using the emerald for? A bunch of mindless, stupid pranks? Knuckles fumed. Sonic rolled his eyes again, moving on towards the next house on the block. Oh, come on, Knux, lighten up. It's not like I'm hurting anyone or anything. I'm just having a little bit of fun, that's all. It'll all be over in one night. Knuckles was still angry over it, but realizing he would get nowhere attempting to reason with the hedgehog in his current mood, and taking comfort in the fact that at least he could keep an eye on the emerald for as long as Sonic was around, he reluctantly agreed to a truce. The rest of the night passed smoothly. Knuckles quickly found adding Tails to their trick-or-treat party did not seem to slow them down too much, and the gang made good time, filling their bags with plenty of candy. Sonic, for the most part, was fairly easy to handle. Every so often he would teleport or use his renowned speed to frighten a group of kids he deemed worthy, but didn't usually stray too far from the group. A little before 9, the group ran into Charmy and Espio, the former sporting devil horns and a tail, the latter, like Knuckles, not wearing any costume at all. Knuckles found Charmy's costume to be somewhat ironic. Hey Cream, he said, I thought your mother said that you were supposed to be with someone else on Halloween night. Cream, who didn't seem to get the joke, only looked at him puzzled. Tails and Amy, however, snickered. Sonic feigned shock. A joke from Knuckles the Echidna. Surely the day of reckoning draws near. Oh, blow it out your pie hole, he muttered. But most of the comeback was lost when Charmy broke in.
I am finding Knuckles to actually be the most relatable character in this story.
Oh, true. Absolutely.
Like,
completely apathetic about the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm jealous of Knuckles because he gets to bang Cream's mom.
You want to
like
bang
that vanilla?
Cream's mom?
She's definitely a MILF.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Oh God.
That's the only reason he hasn't murdered everybody yet. He gets his
He wants-
release from banging. Yeah.
He wants that vanilla hole.
Yeah.
Ugh, God.
Vanilla.
The rabbit hole, if you will.
Yeah. Good. That's much better. That's
Oh, he
much
wants to
better.
go down the rabbit hole.
Oh.
Oh, God, man.
Hi guys. Did you hear about the candied apples they're passing out on Acorn Lake? Acorn
They've got
Lane.
razor blades.
They got razor blades in them. Tastes great. They got sprinkles and everything. Oh, and the crazy chow lady on Whiteman Avenue has king size butter knickers. Because I
that
guess
sounds
they're
really
trademarked.
How do you
Yeah,
pronounce
be
that?
careful how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's
Yeah, I had to read that a couple times before I.
Nikkers.
Don't go to the Ackermans though. They've got raisin boxes. As usual, the bee spat out about as much information as he could in as little time as he had to, and most of what he said passed right through the group's heads. It seemed despite his best efforts, SBO hadn't managed to keep him away from all the sugar. Knuckles, realizing he would be stuck listening to his babble unless he acted fast, pushed his two charges in the direction of the next house. Why don't you go up, he suggested, and take him with you, he added mentally, while Cream simply smiled and nodded. Amy glared at him, recognizing his ploy. I'm going to swap this back to Eric now.
Sonic handed his bag to Tails. Do you mind, pal? Tails simply shook his head and answered, not at all. He followed the girls and Charmy up to the house, waiting while Cream rang the doorbell. The older generation of the team was left to talk, or rather, listen sympathetically while SBO complained. And he won't stop going on about this stupid haunted house. I swear, I always get stuck with this nonsense, he grumbled. Though normally a patient, poker-faced individual, Sonic and Knuckles understood that at least 3 hours in the company of Charmy B was enough to drive anyone insane. I think it's time I took Charmy home. Don't want him to be out much longer. Charmy squirmed his mouth out of his guardian's hand. Aw, but that's not fair. I never got to see the haunted house. Sonic's eyes lit up.
I like that voice for Charmy.
That was good.
Haunted house? Charmy shook his way out of the entire hold, the ninja allowing him his freedom for now. Just a couple of months ago, this little old lady who lived on the edge of the Elderberry Street died. And ever since then, Timmy and Tommy Nook...
What the?
What the f-
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, Tom Nook's kid. What?
Yeah, these are Tom Nook's kids from like
Okay.
Animal Crossing.
Then we're getting some weird shit going on here now.
Oh, God
We
damn
got
it.
a whole mashup thing going on now.
That was a plot twist right there.
It's a shared universe. Well, you know what it is? All of these ones where they have the crossover, it's because the fan fiction takes place in Quickville.
Oh
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sense.
Yep, this is a... Yeah.
It's like the Avengers, but really gross and up.
Yeah.
Greatest crossover event in history.
Oh, God, man.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's a curveball. And ever since then, Timmy and Tommy Nook both swore they heard these weird noises coming from her house. Last night, Jimmy the Bat and his buddy Adam the Deer. What?
I'm looking them up.
Just
I don't
keep
see
reading. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a Sonic character to me. That sounds really fucking.
Both dared each
Hold
other
on.
to go
I don't see
in.
anything on Google Images.
I feel like
I don't
I
either.
feel like he's just trying to drop in like characters that sound
Maybe-
like Sonic characters or some shit.
Well, maybe it's someone from their Animal Crossing island. They just happen to have a deer named Adam.
I
Yeah.
don't think there are any.
Are there
in
even
Animal-
deer in Animal?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know all the Animal Crossing villagers.
Okay, they both dared each other to go in. The bee's voice dropped low, whispering the last part of the story, the hedgehog, conspiratorially. And Adam hasn't come out yet. They saw Jimmy made it out like hours later, but he hasn't said a word to somebody about it since. No one told any of the grown-ups because he asked them not to, but he started acting funny afterwards, like zombie-ish. The kids on the street all say the lady's ghost got mad because they were trespassing and got 'em both, like with some kind of hypnotic spell or something. The more the 6-year-old spoke, the more Sonic seemed to be under a hypnotic spell of his own. "We've got to go check out that house," he murmured, his eyes glazed over and staring. "Absolutely not," Knuckles retorted. "I don't care what you do in your spare time, Speed Freak, but I told Vanilla we would be back at a decent hour. We're already pushing it." "Fine, let's take a vote," Sonic retorted, turning to the group. "Who wants to come on a super awesome fun adventure with me? And who wants to go home early with Knucklehead?"
What is this Sonic voice?
I don't know. That's just how I imagine Sonic speaking in this story.
It's like
He's
somebody
just a
gave
goober.
Sonic like took a tranquilizer before he went trick or treating. He's collapsing on the ground, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. "Well, you can't say it like that," Knuckles insisted. "Why not?" Sonic demanded. "It isn't fair. Look, who wants to be safe, not risk life and limb for cheap thrills and come home with our candy, and who wants to go off on a stupid attempt at gaining attention?" "Hey, what are you trying to say?" "Enough!" Tails broke in. "We will vote on our own, thank you." Cream spoke up first. "A haunted house sounds really scary." Amy voted next. "I agree with Sonic." Knuckles snorted quietly. Big surprise there.
Sounds like he's losing his goddamn mind.
Hey, we gotta add some spice to the story.
I like it.
That's it. We've finally crossed over into losing our minds territory with this.
I think I
podcast.
broke myself with my
I
own
didn't think it would
story.
happen so soon. Yep. See, it backfired.
Yeah, it did. Oh,
Yep.
so,
You hear this sound? Do you hear that?
What?
yeah.
This is the sound of me banging my head against the desk.
I apologize for those voices, but I had to do something to.
The voices
To
were
keep-
on point.
I loved it. Yeah.
I actually really appreciate you spicing it up with the voices. That was good shit, Eric.
Yeah.
But god damn.
We're a third of the way done, guys.
God damn, dude. Eric, I've been going bald recently. Like, my hair has been just, like, falling out at an alarming rate. And this is not helping.
Oh god.
Well, I'm glad to contribute to your male pattern baldness. And when people ask you, you're like, "Oh, when did you go bald?" Years down the road, you'll be like, 24, specifically from reading Sonic fan fiction.
Yeah. I will get you back, Eric. Rest assured. I will get you back.
We're all gonna make each other go bald by the end of this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably lose our minds before we ever go bald.
Oh,
We'll shave our
absolutely.
heads from insanity before we actually go bald.
Either that or, like, it'll be like Twin Peaks, like Leland Palmer going, his hair, like, just going gray.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 We're gonna look like
So-
we're 60 by the time we're done with this episode.
This fan
Or
fiction,
this
you mean?
fan
This
fiction. Yeah,
episode
it's
would
not
be
even
like
one
10
episode.
seconds.
It's like I look myself in the mirror after
be like
this episode, and I look like an old
The
ass
scene
man.
in fucking Revenge of the Sith where Palpatine gets all wrinkly and shit.
Yeah.
The second we stop recording.
Oh shit. Well, there's another episode of 4 Males Sonic and Tales for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. we're gonna get out of here,
Yeah.
seeing as we're all losing it after this episode.
And I single-handedly apologize. I apologize for single-handedly scaring away all of our listeners and completely ruining any future for the podcast from the boring story I just picked.
No, our listeners, at least the people that are listening to this podcast, they come back week after week. Like,
If they've made it this far, they're definitely committed.
I think our
they're ride or
suffering.
die for Sonic fan fiction.
I think our suffering is the real attraction here.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
too.
it's like it's like we're a bunch of circus freaks that they're just like poking at and making fun of. It-
Well, and keep sweat dropping.
Yeah, keep sweat dropping as always.
Is that a command? Are you telling our audience to?
It's up to personal interpretation. Keep sweat dropping and keep going down those rabbit holes.
You're gonna have all kinds of Sonic characters, spooky apparitions floating around your bed tonight because it's spooky season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Ooh.
Spooky, scary. Yeah.
Sonic.
Hedgehogs, Benedicts.
All right, yo. All right, keep sweat
Sweat
dropping.
Sweat drop.
drop.
Pew.